meeting to order. We'll start with a moment of silence. Thank you. I would just like to say, please remember those soldiers that lost their lives this weekend, obviously, in a tragedy overseas. They gave their lives for this country, so please keep them in your thoughts and minds. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chief, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Covey.
Present.
Councilman Veras. Here. Councilwoman Demko.
Here.
Councilman DeLoss. Here. Councilman Sarsfield. I am here. President Catino.
Here.
Mayor Kadustik.
Here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on any of the listed motions this evening? If there is, if you kindly step forward, state your name, and please keep your comments to a minimum of 3 minutes, or no, maximum of 3 minutes, I'm sorry. Anyone? Okay, seeing that there's no public comment, we'll begin with Administration and Finance. Councilman Veras.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of July 11th, 2011.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilman Sarsfield. Yes. Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
President Catino.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the August bill list and addendum.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield. Yes. President Catino.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to award the gasoline/diesel contract for the Borough of Carnegie fleet of vehicles to Snyder Brothers, Inc., effective August 1st, 2011, and ending on July 31st, 2015.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield. Yes. President Catino.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to authorize the Borough Manager to execute the insurance renewal policy for borough facilities and equipment and the public official and law enforcement liability for the 2011 through 2012 term.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to accept the resignation of Peg Bowman as the borough's delegate to the Southwest Allegheny Tax Collection District.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Councilman Sarsfield, would you please read motion F?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. It's a motion to appoint Councilman Veras as the borough's delegate to the Southwest Allegheny County Tax Collection District.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this item?
It's just the comment is you see, motion E was to accept the resignation, and we're appointing Councilman Veras in that spot. And just so that there's no misunderstanding, Ms. Bowman will continue to be our tax collector. This is just a separate committee.
Thank you. Seeing the motion has been made and seconded, Chief, would you do a roll call of this, please?
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
President Katina.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the terms of the settlement agreement between Harper Advertising, Inc., the Borough of Carnegie, and its zoning hearing board relative to permitting the installation of 2 electronic advertising signs in the Borough of Carnegie.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion?
For the record, back in January, I believe it was, Harper Advertising is a company out of Florida, filed a request for a permit to put 3 billboards on the, heading out towards the airport side of the parkway. They asked for a variance of the zoning ordinance. The variance was recommended to be denied by the zoning hearing board. The zoning hearing board, in fact, denied it. They filed an appeal with the Court of Common Pleas, and this will resolve that legal issue. The terms, they're going to get to put 2. They're going to put 2, not 3 signs up. Electronic billboards will be on the south side of Parkway West outbound. And in turn for that, they are going to agree to pay a $5,000 per year annual sign fee, and they are going to assist with the borough in putting 2 signs at the cost of $30,000 at the entry ways to the borough. There's going to be discount advertising, 10% off for borough businesses on the billboards, and free advertising for the borough for things like the festival and Halloween parade and such.
Thank you. Seeing the motion has been made and seconded, we should do a roll call vote of this, Chief.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
President Katina.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Code Enforcement, Councilwoman Covey.
Thank you, President Katina. Motion to adopt ordinance number 2356, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie providing for uniform requirements and prohibitions for discharges into the waterways of the Borough of Carnegie.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on this item?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I just want to say this is a uniform code ordinance that will be adopted also by Collier and by Robinson, and it's specifically to address any of the creeks, but the Campbell's Run issue that we've had, we're trying to prevent dumping in that creek to prevent future flooding. So, and this was done at the Watershed Committee, this ordinance. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 2359, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, amending Chapter 5 of the Carnegie Borough Code of Ordinances, Borough Ordinance number 2315, pertaining to vacant properties.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion for this item? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to advertise ordinance number 2360, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, providing for regulations and restrictions on open fires and open burning.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this item?
Mr. President, if I may.
Yes.
We've had, and I personally have had, a number of complaints regarding open fires in individuals' backyards. As we don't want to trounce on anyone's right to have a fire, but we want to kind of make sure that everything that we do have is done in a safe manner and within a certain time limit. Some people have been complaining of fires burning even 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's what we're doing here. And this particular incident is not germane to our community. I've noticed that there's a number of other communities that are dealing with this, but being that our residents are so close in some of our areas, it's very important that we make sure we have a safe fire in individuals' backyards. So thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to approve a curb cut request for 106-108 Railroad Avenue.
Comment, Mr. President?
There hasn't been a second.
Second.
Okay. Comment?
Yes, me and Chief Harden paid a site visit, I believe, as well as the rest of my colleagues at some point paid a visit to it, and it would be a safety matter to approve such a curb cut. The parking between the two buildings is very tight, and also if there was head-in parking and then backing out onto that artery would cause some real safety hazards and concerns for the borough. Thank you, Mr. President.
And I believe your assessment concurs with our code enforcement officer, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Seeing that the motion has been made and seconded, I'll ask for a roll call vote on this, please, Chief.
Councilwoman Covey.
No.
Councilman Veras.
No.
Councilwoman Demko.
No.
Councilman DeLoss.
No.
Councilman Sarsfield.
No.
President Katina.
No.
Motion does not pass.
Public Works, Councilperson Demko.
Motion to permit the Carleton Soccer Association to use the all-purpose field and concession stand at Carnegie Park every Sunday beginning August 28th, 2011 through October 30th, 2011, and every Saturday beginning September 10th through October 29th, 2011.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to permit the Cougar Baseball League to use Magnato Field on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., Toyota Field on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Carnegie Park on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., beginning August 7th, 2011 through November 8th, 2011.
Second.
Okay, Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Joe, do I need to read that?
No, it's an amended motion. Motion has been moved and seconded, the amended, or the clarified motion per Councilwoman Demko. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to approve the trade of two borough-owned 1995 dump trucks that are out of service with a Blue Book value of $3,900 per truck in exchange for a 1996 bucket truck with a Blue Book value of $10,530.
Second.
Clarify this before we vote on
Okay, I want to say something.
it. The value of the truck that they received was $10,530 in the Blue Book value, but the value of the two trucks that they are exchanging for this are a total of $7,800. So this did not meet the $10,000 threshold we put out for bid. However, Mr. Hatcher did obtain 3 phone quotes to meet the bid requirements, phone quote bid requirements for bids under $10,000. I mean, for purchases under $10,000.
Thank you. Councilwoman Demko, you have further comment?
Yes, I'd just like to let everybody know that the bucket truck that they got will help with all the lights in Carnegie. Now they'll be able to get to them easier. They'll be able to keep up with them better. And tree cutting, Christmas decorations, anything else? Window cleaning, there you go. So it's a good thing. Okay.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to approve pay application request number 2 from Independent Enterprises in the amount of $84,067 for repair work completed between May 25th, 2011 through June 30th, 2011 for the 2011 sanitary sewer point repair project as required by the consent order.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Seeing that there's no discussion, roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
President Katina.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to accept the bid is awarded by Shaycock to Cargill Incorporated for the 2011-2012 joint rock salt bid at a price of $55.83 per ton.
Second. And I have a comment. Mr.
Motion has been made and seconded. Comment, Councilman Sarsfield?
Yes. When the COG was originally looking at the rock salt bid, there was deep concerns that it was going to be much higher than this. One price was actually estimated at one point at like $63 per ton. So we were very fortunate, and again, this is a great benefit in belonging to an organization like COG that we're able to get prices like this, which saves our municipality quite an amount of money whenever we are hit with hard winters. Thank you, Mr. President.
Motion has been made and seconded. Chief, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman DeLoss.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
President Katina.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Public safety, Councilman Sarsfield?
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion A is a motion to offer a conditional offer of employment to Kimberly M. Close as a part-time school crossing guard at a pay rate of $20 per day with no other benefits, pending ratification by the Carleton School Board.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded.
May I make a
Discussion?
comment?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I know Ms. Close, Mrs. Close, I should say. I'm glad that she stepped up to do this, as the chief will attest. We've had a terrible time trying to find someone to be a crossing guard, and it's nice to have somebody with good credentials like this. So if she is approved, I wish her the best of luck. But I will also say that there's still one more crossing guard position that hasn't been filled, but the chief is checking with the school district to see if there is some type of alternative solution for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Motion B, Mr. President, is a motion to advertise ordinance number 2361, ordinance of the Carnegie amending ordinance number 1060, Chapter 15, Section 206 of the Borough Code of Ordinances relating to the parking of commercial vehicles in the Borough of Carnegie.
Second. Mr. President, can I comment?
Yes.
I think this ordinance needs some work yet. I think there needs to be some clarification on the weights of the commercial vehicles and what specific types of commercial vehicles are concerned. I would move to table this motion.
I would second that motion. I agree with Councilman Loss.
We have one motion actually already on the table, so we'll have to vote up or down on that, and then we can go back to tabling the second motion, tabling it. So the first motion is a vote of yea or nay, whether you agree with this motion. If you don't agree with going forward with this, you vote no. And if you do agree with it, you would vote the affirmative. So the motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor of going ahead with this motion signify by saying aye. Seeing that there are no ayes, all those opposed, please vote.
Nay.
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 Okay, seeing that there all are nays, now I believe there's a second motion to table this, correct?
Right, because it's voted down.
Yeah, you voted, I'm sorry, you voted it down, so, okay.
And just council will do its due diligence and do more research on this and attempt to come up with an ordinance that fits the needs of all our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Community Development, Councilman Delos.
Motion to approve Phase 2 subdivision and site plan for the proposed Presley Heights development located in the R3 zoning district of Carnegie Borough, as recommended by the Planning Commission, pending execution of a developer's agreement and the posting of a bond in the amount specified in the letter from the borough engineer dated July 19, 2011. Phase 2 of the development in Carnegie consists of 34 townhouses on plans dated June 6, 2011, prepared by Tri-State Design and Development.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to adopt Borough Ordinance 2357, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie amending the zoning ordinance number 995 by rezoning certain streets in the borough known as the Library Hill area from R2 to R1.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. I actually have a discussion on this item. I need to abstain. Okay. Yeah, he just has to abstain. So the motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify.
Well, if I could just make a comment. We were approached by the residents in this particular neighborhood. Now, the existing rental units that are there would remain there as long as they remain in use. If they become out of use for a period of a year, then this ordinance would then be affected. So, and what it does is it eliminates from any more rental properties, and we will certainly be taking a look at this throughout the borough.
Yeah.
Right.
It wouldn't
Right. They won't be able to create
multi-unit.
multi-units.
What it does is current multi-family dwellings, those in existence would still be allowed, but new multi-family dwellings at this point would not be allowed as long as it's within our ordinance area.
Thank you. And my comment on this is obviously as a resident of the area affected by this, that I definitely think this is a step in the right direction. It's like I said before, this has been something a long time in coming, and the neighborhood stepped up and said this would be a good thing, and they presented it to this council, and this council hopefully will be voting in the affirmative on it tonight. Seeing that the motion has been made and seconded, obviously I need to abstain because I'm affected by this, so I'll ask for a roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Delos.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
President Katina abstains.
Motion carries.
Motion to appoint Mayor Kubistik, Councilwoman Demko, and Chief Harbin to represent the Borough of Carnegie in the Congress of Neighboring Communities known as Connect.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this?
Just a brief discussion is we had a presentation or a workshop meeting, and I think everyone in this body feels that this is going to be an exciting opportunity for our community. It's another avenue for us to get to partner with a university and to provide research that's pertinent to our areas. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Delos.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
President Katina.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to ratify the December 13th, 2010 approval by Carnegie Borough Council of the subdivision consolidation plan known as the Armstrong-Carnegie Consolidation Plan for 1.106 acres from 8 lots and the vacated Williams right-of-way in the C1 and C2 zoning districts bounded by East Main Street, Chestnut Street, Hayes Street, and Lydia Street, so the plan can be recorded. of Allegheny County as the 90-day period for filing has lapsed.
Second comment.
Motion has been made and seconded. Comment, Councilman Sarsfield?
Yes, this is the CBS project. We need to pass this ordinance so that it may be recorded at the recorder of deeds, so that they can continue forward.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do we need a roll call vote on this, Joe? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion to authorize the President of Council to sign a letter of commitment to participate in the Department of Energy Sunshot Initiative, designed to advance solar energy in western Pennsylvania by creating streamlined process across municipalities for zoning, permitting, and inspection of solar energy systems.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Just a brief one then. There's 36 communities that are contiguous to the city of Pittsburgh, and all the communities will be will try to adopt these permits and these ordinances so that we're all in line with each other to help benefit and promote solar energy within our area.
And this is through Connect, Mr. Connect?
Yes, sir. This is through Connect. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Motion F, Mr. President, is amended. We agreed to strike the last sentence from this motion. I'll read it as amended. Motion to appoint the Carnegie Community Development Corporation to coordinate the organization and activities of the Carnegie Business District Advisory Committee. This committee is being initiated for the purpose of assisting and advising Borough Council regarding Carnegie's central business district issues, and for the purpose of coordinating all activities relative to the borough's participation in the Allegheny Together program.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any comment on this item?
I would only comment, Mr. President, the reason we struck the last sentence was to give us flexibility in the naming of the participants.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. We'll start with committee reports, administration and finance.
I would like to make everybody aware that Dr. Michael Panza from the Carnegie School District has accepted another position with the Stowe Rocks School District. He is, I think he starts there in about a week. He left Carleton about a week ago. I just want to say, from being on the school board myself, working with him for 3 years, I thought he was one of the best superintendents we had. And I'm sorry to see him go. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Code Enforcement, Children Defense, Councilwoman Cody.
Thank you, Mr. President. As far as code enforcement, I did want to advise everyone, I was hoping Bob Marshall could be here this evening, but he had a previous commitment, that Bob's Diner is still moving right along. And if you've been past there, the paper's off the windows, and there was a nice article in the Signal Item. And I do know that the health department is coming to inspect this Wednesday, and after that will be Terry Roma, Mr. Roma, doing his final walkthrough inspection, and we should be moving right along, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we can all meet there for a cup of coffee, so looking forward to that. As far as the Carnegie Children's events, the only thing we have going right now, of course, is the festival next month. And we always have a booth with raffle tickets. There's some very nice baskets and gift certificates, some beautiful jewelry. The top prize this year, thanks to our dear friends at STA, is going to be a bus charter. So if you belong to any women's or men's organizations, it's going to be 4 hours for 40 people. So you can go to the casino if you're so inclined, or to the outlets, or whatever you'd like to do. So we hope you'll stop by our booth and buy a raffle ticket for $1. And if anyone is good at handicrafts or making baskets and they'd like to donate, we're always open for donations for the children. That's all I have to report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Public Works, Councilwoman Demko.
Just one quick thing, Public Works finished today, actually he used to that on one day, Diamond Way between 4th and 5th Street.
And I just, not to interrupt you, but I just want to thank Keith I've fought for, 3-4 years, and we finally got it done, and those residents should be happy. And I went past as they were working out in the sun, and believe me, it's no easy task, but I want to commend Mr. Hatcher and the entire Public Works and Councilwoman Demko. They did a great job for us down there in Irishtown. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilman Sarsfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under public safety, I just want to advise our residents, if you come across any stop signs, speed limit signs, one-way signs, traffic controlling signs that you feel that are older, faded, please contact our Public Works Department, and we will attempt to get newer signs up and replaced. In all our travels, although there's 6 of us and the mayor, sometimes we miss them. So if you see them, because it is a safety concern, if we have a one-way sign, it's faded, or a stop sign, it's not clearly marked, and we were to write a citation, it may create an issue for us. So we appreciate your support and help in that. And I also wanted to comment on Public Works too, on the job that they've done with our parks. I mean, the grass looks great, and they're just doing a really stand-up job for us. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Community Development, Councilman DeLoss.
Yes, I would mention that at this time of the year, we start preparing for the library's fall fundraising concert. This year, the concert will be on October the 1st. It's a Saturday. And it's a tribute to Joe Negri. Of course, everybody in Pittsburgh knows Joe Negri, and people around the country know Joe Negri is one of the best jazz guitarists in the country. So there will be a special benefit concert October the 1st in our library music hall, and there will be a lot of people there, other jazz musicians from the Pittsburgh area who are well known and will be part of that concert. Now, it'll be expensive. It is a fundraiser, so be advised, it's not going to be a $20 concert, but it's something that if you can come up with the money to help the library continue its efforts, it's greatly appreciated. Mr. President, I don't know if anybody's going to mention about the sewer construction, not the road closing. I expect the mayor will talk to the road closing, but just general around Franklin. If you've noticed around the elementary school, there's a lot of digging up going on, sewer work. What that's all about, if you're not familiar, there is water that runs from Carnegie Park underneath the railroad tracks through a trestle behind the elementary school, back behind the playground parking lot area back there. And that's always been that way. Well, that water runs from there into the sewer system, and several years ago we were told we had to stop that. And it's an incredibly expensive thing to take a stream and to move it, especially in a developed borough like our own. So that's why everything is being dug up over there. All of the digging you see around Franklin Avenue, also in Union Alley, all the way from Franklin, all the way down to Lydia Street, actually, digging. And it's all part of a project that we just refer to as a stream removal project. But it's a massive project to get the Carnegie Park runoff out of our sanitary sewers. Because as you can imagine, in a big storm, that will flood our sanitary sewers. And it causes not only backups in homes, but it also overfills the Alcosan system. So that's what all the digging is about. And that is going to actually cause a big traffic snarl coming up here at the end of the week. So I'll let the mayor speak to that when he comes to his turn. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Sure, let me talk about the big traffic snarl.
Somebody's got to do it.
And this, like Councilman DeLoss was saying, this is a very large project, obviously over $1 million. And we were one of the few communities to actually receive a grant from Alcosan of approximately $300,000 to help us complete this project, because obviously it needs done. So we were very lucky that Albertson stepped up and gave us some money to obviously help with this huge cost. So thank you, Councilman DeLonis. We'll begin with the Carnegie Volunteer Fire Department EMS report. Chief Kandrax.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the month of July, we had 206 EMS calls and 25 fire calls. The only other thing I'd like to ask council to do is that the Assistance to Fire grant is out and released as of this week. If you guys could give us any assistance or anything to apply for the grant, or someone we could get in touch with that could write a grant. We have a lot of things we're going to look into, especially the ladder truck, and we're going to need some help with that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Chief, can you help with that? I will. Okay. Junior Council report.
Yes, I just wanted to tell everybody about a fundraiser that the Carnegie Musical Department is having as follows. It is Sunday, August 21st at 6 o'clock p.m. And they're calling it a musical cabaret. It's a bunch of the alumni from previous Carnegie musicals, and they're putting on a show. It's comedy musicals, it's memories from Carnegie. There's going to be food and drinks there. And it's like the straight night for the musical department. Tickets in advance you get on Carnegie's website for $15, or you can buy them for $20. And that's all.
What time was that? Sorry.
It's at 6 p.m. on Sunday, August 21st. It should be pretty fun. There's going to be a lot of people from.
Thank you. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll start with the criminal arrests and citations. We had 47 of them last month. Traffic citations, 54. I know we need more. Thank you. Parking tickets, 148. Complaints and self-initiated activity, 898. Just so you know what our police deal with on a monthly basis, I'm just going to give you a breakdown of not all the calls they answer. These are just a few of the calls they answer. You can tell in summer because last month they answered 33 domestic calls, 68 disorderly conduct calls. They had 71 traffic stops, 56 investigations for suspicious activity. We did 17 foot patrols, and that's just a few of the calls that they answer. Not to mention there's a whole host of other things like animal complaints. The police department will answer animal complaints. Abandoned vehicles, I talked about this before. Anytime we have abandoned vehicles on our street, notify us immediately and we will take care of them. They took care of 5 last month. I mean, to me, that's pretty impressive. It's 5 abandoned vehicles that they not only do they have to tag, do the paperwork on, then come back and check on them, and then tell them when they're not being taken care of. So, as of Sunday, our department is back to full manpower. We have our 13th officer back on staff. 12th officer. I'm sorry. 12th officer back on staff. I'd like to remind everybody the first day of school is August 25th. With that, please drive carefully on the roads, just not around the school, anywhere in Carnegie. There are many bus stops throughout this area, and we get resident complaints continuously about people driving too fast in residential areas, especially where there are bus stops. So, and pay attention to the school buses, please. This is something that's interesting, and some of you may already know this, but Mount Lebanon had a rash of identity thefts last couple of weeks ago, last month, and they figured out that somebody was going through garbage on a whole row of homes to steal personal information. That could be anything from a social security number to a bank statement to whatever. So it's real important to shred your material. We also had in Crafton a report of a lady who was dumpster diving. Now, it may have been just for coupons, but when you put your personal information in those paper dumpsters, they're out there for everybody else to see. So make sure you shred those, take care of those so that your personal information isn't flying out there. I've had a friend who's had identity theft, and it's not pretty. So it's a big hassle to get rid of that, all the black marks you get on your credit report with that identity theft. like to announce that on the Saturday at 8 a.m., All Saints National Polish National Catholic Church and St. Elizabeth Ann Seton is coming together with the Borough of Carnegie to sponsor a cleanup in the Irishtown area. We're meeting at All Saints Polish National Catholic Church at 8 a.m. All are welcome. Coffee and donuts will be provided at that time. We're looking to do a cleanup sweep in that area down there. So if anyone who has some time on Saturday morning, please come down. You could fly up for it. The road closing that Councilman DeLoss was talking about is Washington Avenue will be closed at 8 p.m. Saturday evening. Sorry, 8 p.m. August 12th, Friday evening. I apologize. And it'll be closed at that point for 24 hours, weather permitting. And it will reopen on, actually more than 24 hours. It'll reopen,
It'll be 24 hours there.
we had 24 hours for the first night, and then it'll reopen on, not reopen, but the construction will stop on Saturday evening and restart Sunday morning. Is that right? Weather repairing, so I apologize for that.
Is that the whole stretch?
It's right at Trimble Road there. It's where Trimble is right below St. John's Evangelical Church and the Boys and Girls Club. So there'll be a big stretch there right at the Trimble intersection.
What about the buses?
Well, I asked that, and the PennDOT should be notifying Port Authority, but they will have to take a different route if they go straight down Washington Avenue. There is a detour route. The detour route has been given to everyone who needs to have it, and then it'll be posted also.
Yeah, it's basically Hopola Road to Green Tree Road to Forsyth to go around Washington Avenue.
So back to so Washington Avenue will be reopened on Monday then? It's just going to be closed for the weekend?
No, it'll be closed for actually at least a week. It probably won't reopen until the following Monday. It may reopen the weekend after, but it's going to be closed at least a full week. So it's a serious construction matter. I live right by there, so it's going to be a major inconvenience for a lot of residents, and a lot of people will take the bus. And if there's any silver lining in this, and this is a minor silver lining, is that we were able to keep this construction from being done during school season and during football season. So at least the opening of school and the first football game will not be affected. But as Councilman DeLoss said, that this was mandated. This is not something that we wanted to do, but this is mandated due to the Allegheny County SOAR consent decree. The last couple things are the Bottom Dollar, located on Washington Road, right by Subway and Family Video, is coming along nicely, and they're still scheduled to open in November. So what the Bottom Dollar is, even though that's not in Carnegie, that'll service a lot of Carnegie residents, and that's called a limited selection shopping center. So that's sort of on the same line of as an Aldi's or a Save-A-Lot. So that's the type of items that will be carried here, limited selection, and but very good prices. So it should service a need in our area. And then lastly, I want to say that we had an excellent weekend last week. I know some residents, sometimes you don't think there's much going on here in Carnegie, but Thursday evening we had an exhibit opening at the library, which was very nice. An artist displayed his works here and there, and that'll be ongoing throughout the month. If you want to go to the Andrew Carnegie Free Library and Music Hall, it's on the second floor. We also had an exhibit opening at Standard Ceramics, which was an exhibit from ceramic makers from Philadelphia. And that brought about 30 to 40 people here, many of them from Philadelphia, into town. And Phil Savato and Hayward were playing jazz down there for the opening. It was a real nice event. And then, of course, at the 3rd Street Gallery, we had jazz on Saturday evening. So we had a nice run of events that evening, and the weekend before that, we had the play. So there's, anytime in this community, you may think there's not a lot going on, but pay attention, there's more going on than what you think. So thank you very much, Mr. President. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Is there any general public comment? If there is, please step forward, state your name, and like I said, please keep your comments to a maximum of 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Rose Wallace, and I thank you for the opportunity of standing here. I'm a property owner. My husband and I here in Carnegie, and recently we were interested in purchasing a property, and we're just a bit confused and hope that maybe you can enlighten us on what's happening. What we do is we take and flip houses. We try to take something that really needs work